What's up, everyone, and thank you for watching. I got a real interesting video for you today. In this video, I'm basically going to talk about creating raw sexual energy based on Taoist knowledge and text. It's called Jing energy, and taking that raw sexual energy, that Jing energy, and transforming it into Qi energy or life force. Now, I've made a similar video like this some years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and it was geared toward men mostly, and I didn't do any demonstrations. I didn't show anything, and I think some people were interested and wanted to know more, want to have more of the specifics, on the ground view of what it's like and see what's really going on to understand it. So that's what I'm going to provide in this video as well. I'm going to show you a lot of the details of this, specifically from the male point of view. As far as on the female side, sorry ladies, I can only talk about it. And what I'm going to talk about, when you hear me talk about it, don't think of it as any type of instruction or anything like that. Think of it as me doing a presentation and me learning right along with you as I present this stuff. So, how am I going to break the video down? What's the breakdown of the video so you kind of know what to expect from here on out? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to throw safety, disclaimers, and that type of thing out there so that we all know what we're dealing with beforehand. For people that have no idea about this, and a lot of you out there probably already know about this, but it's going to be an interesting video, yet and still. And from there, I'm going to focus on the female side, the female exercises that generate this raw sexual energy. And I'm going to just basically talk about that and explain the process and give you my point of view of how that works out. And from there, I'm going to go to an article written by a woman. Well, actually, it's a website by a woman who has a very high degree of mastery over these types of exercises. And she's gonna, I'm gonna, read it along with you, show it to you. Her language is quite colorful. She has a very interesting way of putting her vision for what she does out there and talking about it. And I think it'll be pretty interesting to see and just listen and learn from. And then from there, I'm going to do the male demonstration stuff, the stuff that I didn't do in the last video. Oh yeah, if you want to see that last video, I'll throw it in the comment section below. If you want to check that out, I did it years ago. But in the male tutorial, I'm going to show you how to rap, because the rapping is the most difficult part and the most important part, because if you rap wrong, that's what could possibly result in an injury. So rapping is really important. If you learn how to rap, the rest is completely easy. Even though none of this is difficult or dangerous. It's only difficult or dangerous if you make it difficult or dangerous. So from there, I'm going to show men how to rap, and I suggest that women sit through this and check it out and learn this, and the men as well sit through the female part and learn about it. We need to learn about each other. Anytime we do any type of self-development that's gender specific, I think it's always good to learn the other side of that. If you learn from a male side, it's always good to go to that female side and learn what's happening across the street, and vice versa. And from there, I'm going to show you my own personal live session. I do a 5-minute session. I just kind of show you how I do things, not to tell you how to do it and give you instructions, just showing you my way and what I've been doing for years. And after that session, then I'm going to show you how to take that raw energy, that was the raw sexual energy that was generated, and convert that Jing energy into Chi energy, life force. And for that portion is for everyone. Everyone can take that, can learn from that, male or female, because the stuff is not gender specific. That portion specifically is not gender specific. And yeah, so that's how everything's gonna be laid out. Oh yeah, and one more thing, at the end of the video, I'm going to provide sources for if you want to take things to the next level, and also just kind of cover stuff that I didn't go over throughout this video. So let's get started. All right, so let's start with precautions and safety and that type of thing. I think my own personal opinion is that if you embark upon these types of exercises, I think that it's best to do these concurrently with abstinence. I think if you do it that way, you will get more results and benefit from this, and it'll be more empowering if you're going through abstinence while doing this. But if you're not abstinent, that's okay too. This can improve your sex life, because what we're doing, you're getting greater power and greater control over your sexual organs, because we're strengthening them in these exercises, and we're strengthening them and we're teaching them to have more control. And just because you have have the power to do something doesn't, or to use something doesn't make it good. Sometimes it's good to have tremendous power and just keep it. Think of it as having a treasure vault, and you never ever have to use the treasure in your treasure vault throughout your life, but if a catastrophe came, you have that reserved. Think of it that way. So next, hygiene. In regards to this, with hygiene, I think hygiene is really important. So if you have any medical issues, symptoms, or anything like that, of any type of illness that would interfere with these activities, these exercises, you want to fix that first. You want to fix that first, and then come back and start, one thing at a time. And also, when you do these exercises, make sure that your equipment is clean. Make sure you are clean. Clean yourself up before and after is of the utmost importance. And particularly for men, if you get like a small injury or an abrasion, it does happen if you kind of overdo things and use too much tension. But if that happens, you want to let that heal completely before you go back at it again, do another session. So and if that happens, you're probably doing too much anyway, and you should probably back off. Ego and being macho it could be your enemy here, so beware of that. All right, so with that out of the way, let's start with women. So with the woman, I'm going to explain the process with women, give an overview for women for strengthening their JJ. So basically, for the female version of this, you use something called a yoni egg or a jade egg, and it basically inserts into the vagina. And basically what you're doing is you're teaching your vagina to exert force to keep it in, to hold it up, and you're basically holding it with your vagina, like just like a hand holding something and not letting something drop out. And of course, there's different parts. You have the shallow part and you have the deeper parts, and they all have different strength and control. And you know, you develop your strength, control through that. And you know, when you use a yoni egg or a jade egg, a bigger one, of course, is better to start off with, because you don't need as much control. It's easier. So it's a beginner would start with a bigger one. And as you gain more control and more confidence, you use a smaller and smaller egg. And once you graduate from the eggs, once the eggs are a breeze or relatively pretty easy, you want to move up and take things to the next level, then you can get an egg that can hold weight. It's capable of holding weight. So take a look at the screen. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of these things that I just talked about. So you look here in this picture. This is the 3 yoni eggs I told you about. The big one, the medium size, the small, and you know, you graduate from big to medium to small like that. And if you look here, this is a yoni egg with a string attached to it that you can add weight to it. So that's how that looks. And that's basically it. And there shouldn't be any danger involved in this. If you know, just use common sense. If something is too stressful, if something hurts, just simply drop your body, drop it down to the floor. It's that simple. There's no reason to stress yourself out. So that's that. So now let's go to the article of the woman who is very high level in performing these types of training and exercise. And let's learn together.
The name of this article is Vaginal Weightlifting. And, you know, it's going to talk about a woman's use of this exercise, and it's going to also talk about what brought her to the point of being interested in trying this and seeing what it's all about. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and go through it. All right, that's a voice box for any of you, if you're wondering. It's not what you think it is. And okay, a woman empowerment quote. This woman is a woman that's a vagina kung fu artist, that they call her. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to read the article and just kind of talk about it, and then explain some things as I go through, because you can learn things just by reading the article, and there's, you know, some learning points can come up in this. And, you know, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. So here we go. Vaginal Kung Fu, black belt in the making. In the beginning of February, I discovered the yoni egg and Kim Anomi, the whale-fucked woman. I guess that's her moniker. Well, I take that back. I actually had the jade egg on my wish list last year as I was preparing to meet up with my Frenchie. Just kidding. But I didn't push through with it for some reason. Then I found Kim Anami, the black belt in VKF, or Vaginal Kung Fu. Ha 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 ha. So I guess this is Kim Anami, this woman in this picture, the Vagina Kung Fu artist. So she has a great degree of mastery with her vagina. She's exercised her vagina and built it and gave it great strength and power. And she's really, I guess she really embraced it and is internalizing it as feminine power, feminine energy. She's unlocking her full potential as a woman. It's beautiful. Okay, so just some more pictures of vagina kung fu and women doing tricks, and I guess, you know, flexing their power, their new power. Vaginal weightlifter and intimacy coach Kim Anami, who splits her time between Bali and LA, has been pictured hoisting a range of objects into her you-know-what, I guess. So I guess this is Kim Anami pictures. Okay, going back to it. Valentine's Day was coming up, and since I had no real romance in my life, I figured I'd give myself a set of yoni eggs. It wasn't easy It wasn't easy to find the perfect one. I had to do some research. I called my friend Karen to check if she had any feedback, as I could make up my mind on which I should get, but to my amazement, she never heard of yoni eggs before. So I did my research from scratch and finally figured out what I would get for starters. This is my starter kit, and I bought from Genuine Jade ELLC.com. I was debating because there's so much info out there. I had to read so many articles before I came to this decision, and yoniegg.com was a very helpful website, and this is a good site to choose the right size. All right, so take a look at this. I just talked about it earlier. There's different sizes. The black one is the biggest size, the green one the middle size, and the white one the smallest size. Apparently the black size is the easiest. The big size is the easiest because it's easier to hold. So therefore, it's good for someone first starting off with this, a beginner. And you would progress down to a smaller and smaller size because it takes more power and more control to hold a smaller size. And if you look at these, they're different color, and they're made of different minerals, or they have a different makeup, and that's important also because it has metaphysical qualities to it that affect you also. I'll talk about that in a moment. And from what they say through my research, they said black obsidian is the best one to use if you were to pick one and order one and choose one. Black obsidian is the best. And I'll read these three different minerals that they use for the ones that are in this picture. This is an advertisement, but we're just exploring it and talking about it. But it does matter. It does matter which type of mineral you use for metaphysical reasons. And I'm into the metaphysical stuff, and it's all important. It's not negligible. Okay, black obsidian. Black obsidian, it's for grounding. It's a precious stone, clearing and shields negative energy, activates and stimulates base chakra, animal energy, heals sexual trauma. Black obsidian. And the next one, the nephrite, jade, which is the darker green one. Stone of health and vitality, prosperity, abundance, transmutes negative to positive, fertility, kidney health. And then the last one, the rose quartz, I guess is the small white one. Unconditional love, compassion, peace, forgiveness, self-love. Heals the heart chakra, connects the heart with the yoni, amplifying crystal, attracts a romantic partner. Okay, so I'll read this part. It talks about other reasons why women use the yoni egg besides the reason that I'm talking about, to build chi and from Jing energy. It says yoni eggs are not only for women suffering from vaginal looseness. The vast majority of women with the vagina can benefit from a yoni egg practice, helping prevent vaginal atrophy, dryness, and prolapse. Doing yoni egg exercises helps you to isolate your vaginal muscles, increase blood flow, and stir up the libido. All of that is just the beginning. There are many energetic and spiritual benefits to a woman connecting deeply with this most sacred part of her anatomy. Adding weight to your vaginal exercise is a trusted age-old practice. Increased lubrication, decreased incontinence, speedy postpartum recovery, more intense orgasms, and a deeper connection to your divine feminine energy. Every woman should experience the benefits. The source is the Goddess Box. It apparently strengthens and tones your yoni, which gives extra sexual pleasure to both partners and brings yourself into alignment with our sex power. The wisdom and the strength that comes when you let your yoni lead your life. And if you don't know, yoni is, I guess, another word for vagina that they're using here. And I'll continue here. So I've been doing this on and off. So the woman continues. She talks, about her blog, her experience with this. She says, so I've been doing this on and off for a few weeks now, and I wish I can tell you that I feel the difference, but how do you test it really? I have yet to find proof that it enhances the sexual experience between myself and my partner, as there's nothing and no one to compare it to. I hope to be able to share it with you sometimes in the near future. What are the benefits of the yoni egg? Okay, what are the benefits of the yoni egg? It says it increases connection with the yoni, so increase your connection with your vagina. Gives you, so I guess it's a good connection to have. Increases sexual sensation and pleasure. Revitalize nerve endings in the vagina. I guess it makes you more sensitive. Improves overall life force, energy, or chi in the body. Boosts chi. That's my reason for exploring this topic. Boosts sexual energy levels and awakens the libido. Helps train the vagina for childbirth and recover the muscles of post-childbirth. Increases wetness and lubrication. Helps to prevent prolapse, whereby the pelvic organs collapse. So that's a benefit that I've seen in myself from doing it, as a man. One thing that it does when you do the chi weight lifting for a man, actually for both sexes, is that it strengthens your your diaphragm. The diaphragm directly above your sexual organ and at the bottom of your stomach. Your diaphragm is like a strong drum, and you want that drum is very tight. And that the diaphragm is one place where a lot of your chi energy is stored. And when you strengthen that diaphragm, there's a very distinct difference that you can feel. It's hard to explain myself, but when you start strengthening that diaphragm, strengthening that wall that's below your stomach and above your sexual organ, you just feel different. It just feels like there's a store of energy there. And what you're basically doing, you're tightening that drum. It's like, think of it as a drum. You don't want a loose drum, you want a tight drum. So it's like a tighter drum when you build that energy of that. And your sexual organ it's connected to all of the rest of your organs in your stomach, your chest, all the way up to your brain. And the stronger you make that chain, the higher parts of that chain that you can reach, and you reap the benefits of you leveling up, so to speak. Okay, so says it balances hormones, heightens orgasmic potential, and so you're able to access a variety of orgasms. Helps to stay grounded in the body and bring awareness to your yoni, womb, and entire pelvic band. Improves overall health, happiness, and wellness, physically and spiritually, as the yoni egg focuses on the place in the body with the most chi, and chi is life force. Okay, we're almost done here. I'll read this warning or disclaimer. It's always good to consider this. Like any of the physical activity, is recommended to consult with your medical professional prior to starting. Please do not use the yoni egg if it causes any pain or discomfort. Also, it is not recommended if you're pregnant, using IUD or similar contraceptive. So that's real important. Take note of that. And let's see if there's anything else before we wrap this up that I want to share with you. Okay, well, yeah, I'll just show you this. Here's a photo of not a photo, but it's a illustration of a woman utilizing this practice and kind of where it goes, and just kind of what it looks like. In this illustration, the model or the illustrated person is holding a weight, and the yoni egg is inside, and she's using the strength of her yoni to hold the weight, and she's building the strength that way. It's a progressive thing. It's just like any training that you do for any other part of your body. This is not strange or weird at all. This is actually very deep and very, very interesting once you start looking at it and comparing this your sexual organ, your penis, your vagina, to all the rest of your muscles in your body. And as far as I'm concerned, it's the most important one, and it unlocks a lot of hormones for the body. Anytime when you unlock sexual hormones, you also unlock all those other hormones that affect your body in other ways, like for your muscles. Just like vice versa, when you build your body and build your muscles, you're also building your sex drive collaterally, and they both work they both work upon each other. They both inflict like a collateral benefit to one another. And I think the collateral benefit of building your sexual organs, your penis, your vagina, has a bigger effect than building your muscles